Well, the end is near. The end is in sight. That sounds better. We're almost at the end of our course, almost to the end of the semester, and there's some really mission critical things that you need to make sure you keep your eyes on in the next couple of weeks in order to finish up our course successfully. And I'm going to go over what those things are here, and I'm going to try to do it quickly because I know they're kind of boring, but pay really careful attention to everything that I say here because you don't want to neglect to do some of the things that you need to do. First thing you need to know is if you're watching this video on the day that it drops, then drops. I gotta stop saying that. It makes me sound like a tool. If you're watching this video on the day that it posts, then you've got 12 days to get everything wrapped up in our course. And there are a couple of things that I want to bring your attention to. One is thought primer number 25. Get this done sooner rather than later. It's one of these housekeeping thought primers where you're going in and you're taking inventory of any thought primers that you have that don't have full credit or that are missing, and you're identifying for me what your plan is for getting those thought primers either submitted or revised so that you get 100% on your thought primers. The other thing that this thought primer is asking you to do is to answer a question you haven't yet been asked, and that is, how do you want to use your NQA slips, your no questions asked slips? You've got 3 of them. They're attached to your syllabus. I don't actually need the actual copies of the NQA slips, but what I do need you to do in thought primer number 25 is to tell me how you want to use those NQA slips. You can apply each one of the 3 to thought primers that you don't have full credit on, and each one of those NQA slips is worth 1 point towards a thought primer. Or you can use those NQA slips to open up quizzes or reopen quizzes that you bombed the first time you took them or that you just forgot to take. So you'll want to tell me in your thought primer how you want those NQA slips used. You also want to be mindful that on the Friday of finals week, Canvas will shut down and you will not be able to submit any work. You can go ahead and review stuff, but you won't be able to take quizzes or submit thought primers or argument constructions or anything like that. So you want to make sure you plan to get your work done sooner rather than later. In fact, what I would suggest you do is work really hard to get your final argument construction completed the week before finals. That way you'll be done with that assignment and you can focus all your energy on the exams and everything else you got going on in your other classes. All right, so related to argument construction number 3, you'll see that in part 2 of this thought primer, there's a link here where you can go and you can download the assignment prompt. It looks really similar to your 2 previous argument constructions, except that this one deals with truth functional or propositional logic. Now, you'll want to watch this video here. It's 15 minutes long, but I'm going to go over every single problem on argument construction number 3, and I'm going to point out things that you want to make sure you pay really careful attention to, and I'm going to point out common mistakes that people make every semester that cause them to lose points that they really shouldn't be losing, okay? So you want to have a printout of that assignment with you. As you watch this video, underline the things I tell you to underline, make notes of important things. And once you've gotten your overview of that assignment in mind, you'll want to answer this question here. Do you have any questions or concerns about argument construction number 3? And that'll come to me with your other responses to questions in thought primer number 25, okay? Now, at the very bottom here of the thought primer, something that's super important. It's a link to a course survey, feedback survey. And it has some, I think it's like 10 questions, maybe less, probably less than that, maybe like 7 questions about various aspects of our course and what worked, what didn't work. And this survey is anonymous, okay? So when your responses are submitted, they're just assigned a number, not your name. And your name is not, there's no way for the number to be associated with your name. So you can know that you are totally anonymous in the survey. And I can't overstate how valuable the information is that I get from folks from these surveys that help me make the course better for students down the road. So please, please, please complete that course feedback survey. All right, I think that's it. It is. You're going to do awesome. But make sure you get on this stuff sooner rather than later. You don't want to push stuff into the middle of finals week because things are going to be crazy with all of your other classes and everything else you got going on in your life. So the sooner you can get on these assignments, the better. And as always, if you get stumped on anything, you want to review something, you want to just run an idea by me before you move any farther with the assignment, just shoot me an email. I'm here and I'm really excited when I get questions from you folks. All right, have a great one.